In a misty rainforest where leaves were green as they can be, there was a woman who spent all of her time in her wooden home in the trees. This cabin was built high in the middle of two large trees in the heart of the forest. She lived amongst some of the fiercest animals on the planet, but none bothered her. In fact, they worshipped her. The woman was a sax player, and she'd play music for the animals daily. The woman only came down to stock on a month's worth of food. Although she was surrounded by animals, she only ate fruits and vegetables. The animals didn't know how to react towards her kind unless she was playing music. Music is what she used to speak to forest creatures. As she came down for her daily food stockings, she'd often continue playing the sax as the animals followed her path and often led her to food. In the time she was able to play her sax, gathering food, she'd sing some of the most subtle yet beautiful tones. They would lead her back to the forest in a direction back to her home in the trees. She kept peace in the forest, and was the harmony that kept things together. There was one chimpanzee that would occasionally climb up to get a front row seat of her daily performances. Things were great up until one strange evening. The animals below began to search for food, but it seems food wasn't as accessible for some reason. They were confused. The woman's voice also was sore from singing every day, causing her not to be able to sing. She had to rest in order to play her saxophone. This didn't make the animals of the forest very happy. They didn't know what was going on either. Shortly after, their natural instincts began to kick in. They started to hunt each other as the evening hours grew quiet with no sounds. Attacks and scars grew across the land and violence filled the ambience. The jungle became a survival ground. Eat or be eaten. But the lucky chimpanzee found himself on high grounds, fortunately. He was able to find the problem as he noticed a woman lying down. He asked the woman, "What's wrong?" She said, "I have no voice. I can't play my sax or sing." The chimpanzee felt sorry and didn't know what to do. But, short moments later, he saw two watermelons sitting on a ledge outside of a woman's cabin. He went towards the watermelon and knocked on them a few times to make sure they were good. Unfortunately, they were hollow. But the knocking did something strange for the jungle. When the chimpanzee knocked on the watermelons, things got quiet below. The violence strangely stopped. He didn't hit the watermelons again. All attention was on him and animals began moving in sync. Then, something clicked in the chimpanzee. He brought over the hollow watermelons to the woman and told her to begin playing. She looked at him confused at first, but she gave them a shot. She began playing rhythm and the jungle followed. The chimpanzee picked up her saxophone and hesitated to play. The woman began to get in a funkier rhythm and started to enjoy herself as the jungle began dancing in harmony again. This gave the chimpanzee more confidence and he began to play the saxophone in sync with the woman's drumming. At the end of it all, the violence completely stopped and the jungle was back in harmony as the woman even let go of some of her food to drop down into the jungle to feed the animals. The Jazzy Jungle returned to its rooted music and wonderful vibrant energy it possessed.